Erica. I tried to call Grace while having a cup of coffee in the kitchen. There were freshly baked croissants on the table, so I took a piece and spread a little bit of butter on it too. I'm so hungry, and I feel like I can have another one after I finish this. Mom has already left the house and won't be back until 5 in the afternoon, so after I eat, I will start my search. I kept thinking why Mom reacted the way she did. What is the connection between Auntie Dawn and the Blacks? If Mom didn't stop mid-sentence, I wouldn't be wondering now. As far as I know, Grace wouldn't be sleeping with him if he was a married man. So that's not the reason. What could it be? Is it because Grace is human? But she is not the first human Luna. Black Claw in Alberta has one. She was turned but was human before. Grace did not pick up, so I tried her again. She answered after a couple of rings. "Digby," said Grace. She sounded so happy. "Gracie, how are you? How's my godchild?" "We are doing well. How are you? Are you eating?" "I just woke up, so I am doing a late breakfast." "Late breakfast? It's lunch in a few minutes, silly. Did you stay up late again?" "Yes, I did. Anyway, I have some time off and would like to see you. What's your schedule this week?" "There's a party happening in Montreal tomorrow evening, so we are leaving later tonight. Do you want to come with me?" "Where are you?" "Montreal. I'm actually in Toronto." "I am such a liar." "What? Really? Oh my God. Wear clothes. You have my address. I will wait for you. Don't worry about clothes. I have some that will fit you." Grace is so excited to see me that she can't stop blabbing. I miss my best friend. Not maternity clothes, I hope. I chuckled at her. "No, of course not. You're still as silly as ever." Grace laughed. "Okay, great. I only have a backpack with me, so I have at least underwear and a shirt. There was a flight sale, so I thought I'd visit you for a day." I cleared my throat. "Where in Montreal exactly is this party?" "High Crown. But I am not going with Victor and his friends. I'm just going to stroll around with Lowell and Taryn Conley." "I see you've made new friends. That's good." Lowell was the one that was not able to eat with us at your graduation, right? "Yeah, he had to come back here for a business matter, and Taryn is my new friend. She works as one of the servers in the main house. You will like her. She's a little shy but really, really nice." "Awesome. I bought a few things for the baby, so I'll see you in a couple of hours, I guess, depending on traffic. I'm not really driving this time. I want to save my energy in case I run into trouble." "Okay, great. I'm so excited." "Me too. Listen, can you tell Mr. Fraser that I am coming over? I don't want him to be surprised. Witches are not usually welcome to the territory the way they are not welcome in our realm, unless an invitation was sent and accepted. I just want to make sure I won't cause a commotion when I arrive. I know that stupid man, Hans, won't be happy to see me. 1 minute, he looks at me like he adores me, and the moment I caught him doing that, he'd scowl at me. Anyway, aside from that, Grace doesn't know who I really am. I can't tell her. Mom said it's not time yet. But when is it? I'm sure he won't mind, but sure. I will let him know." I gobbled my breakfast and took a shower. Usually, I will dry my hair with a blow dryer, but I am in a bit of a hurry, so I'll just use some magic today. Actually, I will be using magic for the whole day. I was dressed in all black. Black pants, black boots, black shirt, and I was debating whether I should wear a white coat or a red one. Matt, I'll just decide later. I want to do my search now. I have 1 hour, then I have to leave. I'm just going to leave a note for Mom. Now, I have to think where she would usually keep anything that is related to Auntie Dawn. Think. It wouldn't be in her office. It's too personal, not a business. Sacred well. That's 3 levels down. I have clearance to go there, but only when there's a ritual or seance, a ceremony to contact the ones who passed before us. I checked the activity calendar earlier and nothing is going on, so it's clear. I put my special cloak on and made myself invisible. All right, here goes nothing. I snapped my fingers and envisioned where I wanted to go. I can't go directly inside the sacred well, but being just outside the door is good. 5 years and it still looked the same, like a dungeon, with torches used to light the hallway. The security system requires an eye scan, so I did that. And voila, the doors opened, and I went in. It closed immediately. I scanned the room, and there's no way Mom would just leave things in the open, especially since that Auntie Dawn is human. So I went to my mother's secret room instead. And I used to play there when we were little. My dad would be away on business, so Mom would take us here when she needed to study something. Great, another eye scan to open the door. Ugh. This is tiring. I got in and started looking around. 15 minutes and I found nothing. I gave up. I started chanting in my head and uttered the name Dawn and Grace Aspen. A thin black book fell out from the shelf. Gotcha. I took it from the floor and started reading. As I flipped the pages, the crease in my forehead got deeper and deeper. Oh fuck. This is fucked up. No wonder my mother looked so defeated. She just failed Auntie Dawn. And she's right. I should have done a better job watching over her. But the moon goddess is never wrong. Something is not right here. Something is missing, and I am going to find out. I closed the book, but before I could return it to the shelf, I got caught. What the hell are you doing here? Erica. I held the book as tight as I could and hid it behind my back. Of all days, my sister has to come down here at the same time as me. She is the only witch that can see me even with my cloak on. I said, "What are you doing here?" Em asked me again. "What do you think? I haven't been here for 5 years. I thought I'd take a tour." I grinned at her, but I should have known it wouldn't fly with her. My sister and I are different in a lot of things. For one, I have blonde hair, while she's a redhead. I took after my mother, while she looked like Dad's female version. Even though our powers are somewhat similar, Em remains the most powerful witch of her time, well, next to Mom. Emlyn, she wouldn't be a queen if she weren't. Don't be cute with me, what is going on? She furrowed her brows, and was now eyeing what I was hiding. Shit. Nothing. If it's nothing, then why are you lying? You're even using your cloak. She crossed her arms against her chest. It's no use hiding it from her. I let out a sigh. Okay, fine. I'm here because of the Aspens. I need to know something. So you snooped. Erica. Mom's going to punish you for this. I rolled my eyes heavenward. Oh please, I will only get into trouble if you rat me out. She frowned, then rubbed her nape. You're asking me to lie for you. I shook my head. Not exactly. What do you mean, not exactly? I'm just asking you not to say anything about me being here. If Mom asks you about it, then you can tell her. Do we have a deal? She looked at me straight in the eye and gauged whether she should agree or not. Only if you tell me what you've found out. My eyes widened in disbelief. You mean Mom didn't tell you too? That's weird. I thought she would at least tell you about Grace. Well, she didn't hand it over. I was hesitant, so before I could hand it over, she had already used her magic trick on me. Em started reading, and she basically had the same expression as I did when I read it. And she's pregnant. I nodded. The moon goddess won't play them like that. Something is wrong. Exactly my thoughts. I'm going to see her today and spend a couple of days up north. Em narrowed her eyes. At Bronze Ridge. Well, yes, that's where she lives, and then we are going to Montreal for a day or two. She's not going to High Crown, is she? Grace said she would not attend the party. Okay, good. Keep an eye on her, while I look further into things. You will help me. She sneered. What do you think? You better take care of yourself while you're up there, or Mom will have my hide. I don't want to kneel on mung beans again. I burst out laughing. I remember getting us into trouble because I snuck out and went to a party. Em lied for me, but Mom caught her, and both of us kneeled on mung beans for 15 minutes when I returned. I was 16 at the time, and Em was 18. Em used her magic and took us to my bedroom. I noticed that she was still holding Mom's black book. Why didn't you return that? I asked her. She smiled. Looks real, huh? It's not the original. She shook her head. Well, that's awesome. Could you give me a copy? I want to read some more. Nope, this stays here. If you take it out of the house, even if it's a copy, it might fall into the wrong hands, and who knows what will happen then. All right. I will read more when I come back. Can you call me as soon as you find something? I will. I picked up the 2 coats. Which one? Red. It looks great with your blonde hair. I put on the red coat and said goodbye to my sister. She asked if I was driving, and I said that I would be halfway. What I did was go inside my car, then snap my fingers until I was 30 minutes away from Bronze Ridge. When I finally reached Grace's new place, I introduced myself to the guy talking from the speaker. A few seconds later, the gates opened, and I drove in. Their village is vast, but I was told High Crown is twice the size. When I parked the car, I got out, and the first one I saw was Hans. Why are you here, witch? He didn't hide his dismay, but I am not here for him. Hello to you too, Hans my love. I teased him, and he blushed. Don't. He narrowed his eyes at me. Relax. I am only kidding. I winked at him, and I saw his breathing hitched. I still have that effect on him. How about you reject me now so we won't be dealing with? He turned around and left me. This man. Hans tries to irritate me, and when he can't get the reaction he hoped for, he leaves. Digby. That was Grace who called for me and waved. Her belly has gotten bigger since the last time I saw her. Hey. I walked towards her and hugged her. You looked like $1,000,000, Gracie. Pregnancy becomes you. She giggled. When you get pregnant, you're going to look like this too. I rolled my eyes. And who would be the father of my child? Grace grinned. Hans. He asked me if you were going to Montreal with us, and I said yes. He's not excited about the party now. I'm not going to the party with him. What's his problem? Honestly. I nodded. Okay, I think he is not happy that it's Lowell who's going to chaperone us. I don't get it. Some days, my brain ceased to operate. Like today, I'm slow. He wants to be the one to do it so he can spend time with you. I think he likes you, like genuinely likes you. It's just the stupid mate thing. When he rejects me, which he should do soon, this funny feeling between us will go away. Until then, I just have to enjoy our little spat and admire him from afar. I am not allowed to marry him anyway. He's from different species, Grace. I took Erica to my room, as I didn't want to disturb the others working in the main house. Also, Victor was caught a little off guard when I told him a friend of mine was coming. I would understand if I were not allowed to bring anyone in. All he has to do is tell me. My other option is to have Erica meet me in Montreal instead. But Victor said it's all good, and now my best friend is here. This is your room." She couldn't believe her eyes and looked outside the window. "It's so big." "It is. My apartment in New York could not compare." She laughed. "Gracie, your whole apartment is just slightly bigger than your bathroom here. It's freaking huge, and I can fit in a couple more bathtubs and toilets." "Victor is so generous and kind. He said he gave me this room, so that when the baby comes in, I will have more space." I noticed her staring at me. "What? Why are you looking at me like that?" "I think he likes you," said Erica. "Who? Vic?" "No, he doesn't like me like that." I cleared my throat. "I shouldn't have kept this information from you, but I want to tell you something." Erica furrowed her brows. "What about?" "Do you remember my last shift at the coffee shop? We did the closing, and you wanted to walk me home, but I refused and said no." Erica nodded. "That night, I almost died." "What?" This is the first time Erica paled since I've met her. "Someone attacked me in the alley." "You took the shortcut." "That was not a question. I did the 5 minutes I was planning to save was not worth it if Victor didn't come at the right time anyway. He saved me, and that was the start of our friendship." "Gracie," said Erica. She looked guilty. I tapped her hand. "Don't feel guilty, it was not your fault. You offered, and I refused. Besides, I'm okay, don't fret about it anymore. It's hard not to. What if something happened to you?" "Nothing happened, so get over it. We are here to have fun." I smiled at her. "I am so happy you're here." "Me too." Erica smiled, but I could see it in her eyes. Something was bothering her. "Gracie, I've never asked you this, but have you ever thought about telling your baby's father about your pregnancy?" I nodded. "A few times the last time I called him, but I chickened out at the last minute. Maybe I'll try some other time, hopefully, before I give birth." It didn't take long for us to arrive in Montreal by plane. It was less than an hour, and there was no turbulence. Erica and I sat beside each other, and next to me was Taryn. The aisle separated us, and we chit-chat from time to time. Now, we were on our way to the hotel, and an SUV came to pick us up. Victor and the guys were out front. I noticed Hans glancing at us from time to time, so I teased Erica. "The man has a crush on you. Ask him out," I said to her. "Who? Who else?" Erica smirked. "Oh, him, nope. Not going to happen." I can see it in her eyes, though she likes him. "Maybe you should just skip the dating part and sleep together, and then you'll get past this awkwardness between the two of you." Erica went silent for a minute and asked, "Do you have a job opening here? I thought that if I work here, then I can stay with you and help you with the baby. I don't mind sleeping on the couch." "Really? If you're serious, I can ask Victor the baby, and I would love to have you here. Taryn will be helping me once I give birth too." "Okay, great. Let me know so I can get ready for an interview." When we arrived at the Dubarry Chateau, Victor asked Hans to show us to our rooms. But I excused myself and asked Victor if we could talk for a second. Hans went with the girls and Victor took me to the study. "What's the matter?" he asked after we sat down on the couch. "You know my friend, Erica, right?" He nodded. "She is looking for a job, and I was wondering if you have an opening in the company." "What kind of job?" "Something clerical." "I don't know, but she's a fast learner." Victor looked amused. "Actually, Hans needs a personal assistant." "Oh no, Erica is not going to be thrilled about that, but she's a big girl. She can take it." "Okay, I will tell her." "Thanks, Vic." He smiled. "No problem. Where are you guys going later?" I want to see Old Montreal and experience La Grande Rue de Montreal." It is Canada's tallest observation wheel. Victor's brows furrowed. You're pregnant, you're not scared to ride it. Relax. It doesn't even move fast. Riding a car is even faster. I basically just sit there and look at the city from above. You are one in a million, Grace. All right. Just be careful, and if you need anything, ask Lowell or Taryn. I thanked him, and he walked me to my bedroom. I texted Erica and asked her to see me. I waited outside the door, so she could spot me faster. It didn't take long for her to come out and walk towards me. I talked to Victor. I said to her as I was shutting the door. Already? Boy, you don't waste time, do you? Erica laughed. I rolled my eyes and said, there's a job opening. If you're interested, it's like a secretarial job. More like a personal assistant, something to that manner. I don't know the details yet, but you'll know before the interview. Erica looked excited. Really? You're the best. I will be the best assistant ever. Is Victor nice? She seemed so happy. I cleared my throat. Erica thinks she will be working for Victor. Victor is nice, but you won't be working for him. I am afraid to ask what you'll say next, but who's going to be my boss? Asked Erica. Hans. Her smile vanished. Erica. I felt like the moon goddess was playing with me. First, I screwed up with the job Mom gave me. Second, my sister caught me snooping. And now, I have to work for Hans, so I can watch over Grace. I'll be damned. You're kidding, right? Grace chuckled. I'm actually not. Come on. How hard could it be? And Hans is really nice once you get to know him, said Grace. Nice. Which bone? The one in the middle of his thighs. Gracie burst out laughing, and I swear, if she weren't pregnant, I would give her a smack in the head. She's naughty. You and your mouth. What did you do to my best friend, who's almost a prude? Your prude best friend got knocked up and is now raising her baby on her own. Lighten up, Digby. Working for Hans won't be too bad. Plus, we get to see each other every day, eat together, take afternoon walks together, and also, you get to see my baby whenever you want. If that's not enough, we get to shop. Although I have not visited any thrift shops since I left New York. I let out a deep sigh and looked at her. Fine, I'll give it a try and go to an interview. This is going to be a disaster. I can't be in the same room alone with Hans. With the strong sexual tension going on between us, it won't be long until I cave in. Darn it. Grace, can I ask you a question? Sure, what is it? Did you feel very attracted to the father of your child? Like, he is the only one you see, and you can hardly breathe when he's around, but when you are not with him, your thoughts are filled with nothing but him. Like it's him or no one at all. With Ulrich? I nodded. You just described exactly how I felt the first time I saw him, and even when he left. Do you have ESP or something? Grace laughed. Silly. She grinned at me. Is that how you feel with Hans? I smiled at her nonchalantly. Now, why would you talk about Hans and me? We are talking about you and Ulrich. You're being secretive, Digby. Spill it. We can't be together, okay? I said to her, feeling defeated. She furrowed her brows and asked, why not? Because we just can't. He's different. I am not sure how much she knows about Bronze Ridge, but I will not open a can of worms. Plus, if I start talking about them, she will ask how I knew, and I can't tell her who I really am yet. Just because he is different doesn't mean you can't be together. All is fair in love and war. You've been reading too many romance novels, Gracie. It's not like that in real life. It could be if you wanted to. What's meant to be will always find its way. Was that from a Hallmark card? I smirked at her. Grace started laughing, and it was so contagious that I ended up laughing as well. Now that I know how she felt with Ulrich, the moon goddess is not playing with them. They are mates. Hopefully, Em finds out what's wrong before it ends in tragedy. The pack laws have never changed, and if the truth doesn't come out by the time the baby is born, there would be bloodshed. And I am not going to stand here and just watch my godchild die. Grace. I wore my new maternity dress and comfy boots, and just carried my trench coat. Erica and Taryn are both wearing jeans and a sweater. We sat in the living room while waiting for the guys. It didn't take long for them to get ready, but Hans and Victor looked handsome in their formal suit. Lowell is wearing casual clothes and looking happy. Vic is right. Lowell is not fond of parties, and I was the perfect excuse so he won't attend. As a gift, he is treating us all for dinner. Lowell drove for all of us, and I felt something change inside me when the car entered the High Crown territory. I've met a vampire, wolf, and now it can't be. Magic doesn't exist. Hi, Grace. You again. What do you want? Nothing really. I was just saying hi. Why do you sound so happy? Because I will be meeting Havoc soon. And who the hell is Havoc? My mate. Do you think you get to meet yours and I can't meet mine? Don't be selfish. Me? Selfish? Don't be ridiculous. How can I be selfish to you when I don't even know you? My name is Willow. Okay. Well, I have to go sightseeing in a few, so be quiet for now. I don't want my friends thinking I've lost my marbles. I heard Willow laugh. All right, enjoy your night. I heard a knock on the window, so I pressed the control down. Vic, what is it? Do you have enough money? I smiled. Yes, don't worry. The wind blew, and I smelled an apple. Vic, did you change your cologne for the party? No, why? You smelled like apple. Victor pressed his lips with a slight frown. What did you say? I said, you smelled like an apple just now. It's funny, because you smelled different earlier in the car anyway. Have fun at the party, and we will see you in the morning. Ulrich. The wind blew, and I smelled something like tomatoes. I don't think my parents included spaghetti in the menu tonight. It smells like ketchup. I followed the scent until my feet brought me to the balcony at the front. The smell was fading, and I noticed the black SUV had just left. Maybe they bought a takeout. I have been calling Erica since I received her number, but she's been ignoring my calls. I haven't stopped searching for Grace, and I have contacted the other packs across United States if they have ever come across someone who smells like strawberries, but no luck. If she's not there, I have to start looking here in Canada before flying to Europe. Alpha, did you smell that? It was my beta Brett. Tomatoes. He nodded. Yeah, like ketchup. Somebody probably had a takeout. Okay, anyway, your parents are looking for you. The guests have arrived. I will be right there. Brett didn't leave. What is it? The female beta for Bronze Ridge is here. Victor's sister. Yes, Vivian. What about her? I don't know why we are talking about her. Does he like her? He cleared his throat. I heard her talking to her friend that her brother just hired a personal assistant from New York. And the point is, she's human. Could it be that the reason why we can't find Grace is that we are looking at the wrong place? She might be the human at Bronze Ridge. Brett could be right. I have to talk to Vivian tonight. Hopefully, she's not going to be difficult. Grace. It was fun walking around old Montreal. Even Taryn enjoyed it. She told me that she doesn't go out much. It wasn't until I asked her where she had been that I found out she had not been anywhere but inside the village. Lowell, Can I ask you something? Yes, sure. What about? He was drinking coffee outside the store. I left Taryn and Erica while they looked at little trinkets. Taryn said she had not been anywhere. Is that true? He nodded. Omegas don't usually go out. They have chores to do, and on their time off, they usually use that to rest. Why? One day off. No wonder Taryn looks tired along with the others. And their job is from sunup to sundown. They don't stop moving until everyone has eaten supper and the kitchen's all cleaned up. Nothing. I was just curious. Okay, let me know once you guys are done, and then we will go out for dinner. Lowell, did you change your perfume? I asked him. No, why? He sniffed his collar. I smell the same. You smelled like oranges. Is your drink flavored? Nope, just plain. He looked confused. Okay, I'll go get the girls. I turned around and went into the store. Something is off with me, like something changed. My sense of smell is overly sensitive too. Damn. Maybe I am getting sick. I saw the girls checking out mugs, and I was almost there when Taryn tripped, and the cup went flying. I lifted my hand in panic, and suddenly everything froze. Taryn's body is almost touching the floor, while the mug is up in the air. The other customers were frozen as well as the cashier. Except for Erica. T. Digby, what is going on? I am panicking. I don't know what is happening. Did I do that? Oi. And why are you moving? Everyone is, oh my God. What are you? Gracie, don't be scared, I can explain. She looked distraught. Start explaining then before I lose my mind. Okay, but first, I need to take this mug. She took the mug that was suspended in the air and put it back on the shelf. And I also have to help Taryn before she loses all her beautiful teeth. She helped Taryn so that she wouldn't hurt herself when she was no longer frozen. Are you done now? I asked her. She nodded. Okay, all you have to know for now is that I am a witch, a good one. I am not an enemy if that's what you're thinking, like the wolves and vampires. I can't just come in without invitation. As a witch we respect each other's territories, however, some are stupid. I want to tell you more, but can you unfreeze them for now? I looked at her dumbfounded. How do I do that? I thought Erica would laugh, but she didn't. Wave your hand like what you did earlier while thinking of unfreezing them. Try that. I don't have that power, so I am not sure how your magic works. I did what she said, and everything went back to how it was. Taryn didn't fall on the floor, as my friend caught her on time, like how she planned earlier. Thanks, Erica. Taryn smiled sheepishly. You're welcome. I am thinking of whether we should go back to the hotel and get takeout, or proceed to dinner as planned. I didn't want to ruin everybody's night, so I just went with the original plan. Lowell took us to La Duchesse Sauvage, or the Wild Duchess. Oh my God! Since when did I learn French? Someone better explain what's happening to me, or I will really think I am going insane. Relax, Grace. You are not going insane. Easy for you to say. You're not the one who looks crazy right now. Everything is falling into place. Trust the moon goddess. Soon, you will claim what is rightfully yours. What is rightfully mine? You'll see. For now, just try to relax and enjoy dinner. Moon goddess. Rightfully mine. What the hell is Willow talking about now? Great. I'm even using the name she gave earlier. Ugh. Maybe I am just hungry. Right. If I eat, everything will be back to the way it is. It was a quiet dinner. Everyone looked like their minds were occupied by something else. Even Taryn looked deep in her thoughts. I cut our sightseeing short and asked Lowell to take us back to the house. It looked like they weren't in the mood anymore to walk around anyway. As soon as we got inside the house, I grabbed Erika's arm and told her we needed to talk. Start talking. Tell me what you know. This is scaring the shit out of me, I said to her. Erika refused to sit down and just kept pacing back and forth. She looked nervous as hell. I can't tell you much. I am still looking into things and don't want to ruin it for you. Not ruin what? She gave me a stern look. Okay, fine. Tell me what you can, and I will go from there. You might want to sit down for this and tell me to stop once you've heard enough. I rolled my eyes. Digby, is your real name even Erika? My real name is Erika Strain, not Digby. Well, at least I am not going to have a hard time remembering your name. But why lie to me? Sorry. I had to do it. My mom sent me to look after you and... Look after me? Why? Okay, look. If I need to tell you what I know, you have to let me talk, or we will never finish. I smirked. You are right. Sorry. She nodded. Let's start from the beginning. My name is Erika Strain, Princess of Shadowmoon Coven. My mother is Queen Emlyn, and I have an older sister named Amelia. She is helping us find out more information as we speak. Anyway, you are one of us. At least half of you. Grace, Montreal. Wolves. Vampires. Witches. What is next? I feel as if I was inside some movie on Netflix, and there's no end. I sighed but didn't interrupt her. I want to hear more. What you did at the shop is called temporal stasis, or freezing time, only one which had that power, and it was never passed on to anyone after she died. Who is that witch? I couldn't help myself but ask. Mari Strain. She is my mother's and she was queen until her health deteriorated. It was some mysterious illness that we couldn't find a cure for. It started when her baby, Amelia, was stolen from her. You say, witches can only breed with the same species. However, Grandma Mari, Moon Goddess, rest her soul, fell in love with a human. It was the start of chaos in the realm. She was destined to be a queen, but not with her kind of baby. She was asked to step down, and she was willing to, but for some crazy reason, her baby went missing the day before. As a result, she stayed queen. She kept looking for her child after doing her duties, and until Grandma Mari took her last breath, Amelia was the last thing she uttered. That is the saddest thing I've heard. If that ever happened to me, I would probably die. My child is my life. I will be holding my baby in a few weeks, and I can't imagine being apart from my child. Aren't you curious who Amelia is? Should I be? I asked with furrowed brows. Amelia is Dawn Aspen, your mother. My mother. My mother, who worked multiple jobs to put food on the table. My mother, who raised me by herself. What? No, Mom, she's not a witch. I haven't seen her do magic or anything. Maybe you're making a mistake. I shook my head. If she were a witch, then she wouldn't need to work so hard to make sure we eat 3 times a day. We won't be renting an apartment. We won't struggle. Erika's face looked somber. I wish Mom had found Aunt Amelia sooner. I don't know how our lives would turn out, but I know it would be different. We became silent for a minute, and then I thought of something. Wait, if my grandma is your mom's aunt, that means our mothers are cousins, so that makes us cousins too. Erika nodded. Yes, we are best friends and cousins. You're a Strain, and don't quote me on this, but you are the rightful heir to Shadowmoon Coven. I laughed and shook my head. I don't care about titles and thrones, honestly. I am just glad I have a family now. Erika walked towards me and hugged me. I'm so glad we've met. Me too. Wait, if you're a princess, that means you don't really need to work in the coffee shop. Erika scratched her neck. I'm actually a pharmacist, so yeah, Mixing milk or creamer with or without sugar sufficed for the last 5 years. We ended up laughing together. That's hilarious anyway. This same species thingy. Is that why you can't be with Hans? We are talking about you here. Why are we suddenly talking about that man? I shrugged my shoulders. Just stating an example is all. Yes, that's the reason. So you'd rather be alone, or be with someone you don't belong to because of a stupid rule? I raised an eyebrow. I can't believe that. Rules are not written in stone. It's more of a guide, and if it is no longer working, it should be reviewed, and appropriate changes will be made. My sister is the one who follows the rules. As for me, I break them most of the time, but when it comes to Hans, I don't know what to do yet. I am waiting for him to reject me. Reject you? As his mate, wolves do that. They throw a few lines that start with I, Mr. X, Alpha or Beta, or whatever their position is. Reject you, blah, something like that. That's disheartening. I hope there's a way around it. If I were a queen, the first thing I would do is abolish that stupid rule. That will make everyone happy. Why? Because they will have more options. Erica smiled. See? You're a queen in the making already. She teased. I blushed. Oh, I don't know about that. Let's just say, both of us will be in trouble if that ever happens. Then I thought about half of me. What is the other half of me? I cleared my throat. You said I am half witch. What is my other half? She rubbed her nape. You're a wolf too. That explains it, the weird sense of smell, since I came here to Montreal. No wonder Victor smelled like an apple. I even asked Lowell if his drink was flavored, because he smelled like oranges. Yes, that would be it. You're a hybrid, Grace. What else did you notice that is new? Aside from the smell and the power to freeze time, I didn't tell you about this, but I have heard voices since after I slept with Ulrich and found out I'm pregnant. I thought I was going crazy, hearing voices in my head and whatnot. Then when we dropped the guys off at High Crown, she introduced herself to me. That's your wolf. What is her name? Willow. That's a cute name, said Erica. I am cute. Tell her thank you. You are not cute. You can be very annoying, you know. You'll like me when you finally see me from the water reflection. I can't wait. Did she just communicate with you? I nodded at Erica. Yes, she said thank you for saying her name is cute. Tell her she's welcome. Erica laughed a little. She can hear you. Anyway, she said something about seeing her from the water reflection. Do you know anything about that? It's for when you turn. Turn into what? In your wolf form. Well, I'll be damned. I will turn into a big dog too. Erica. I am so going to be in trouble with Mom, but what am I supposed to do? Not answer Grace and keep her in the dark. I'd say she has been kept in the dark for so long. I didn't tell her about the other things, because I believed my mother should be the one to break it to her. I'm curious to see what other powers you have. I said to her. How many am I supposed to have? As much as the moon goddess will give you. Okay, what sort of powers are there? I know only the ones I saw on television. I don't even know if that is real. Let's see, there's astral projection, fireball, force field, force blast, glamoring, healing, high resistance, hydrokinesis, levitation, literary manipulation, psychokinesis, and of course immortality, but it is rare. There's a lot more, but you should read it on a book. Grace looked lost already. What power do you have? I asked her. I am still discovering new things as time goes by, but I do have arrogances. I can control air. That's cool. What else? Levitation and orbing, and my special gift is that no one can read my mind. I don't know if there's a name for such a thing. so I just called it Mind Shield. Wow, that's amazing. You need to practice your powers regularly, and it will come to you when you're ready. You just will your mind to do it, and you'll never go wrong. How much do you know about wolves? Not much really. I just know the basics and few things. Why? I read the book titled The Wolf in Me. A Black wrote it, and there are only 2 copies. The other one is at High Crown. I feel drawn to it for some reason, and I don't know why. It feels like the book was calling me. A black interesting. The pieces are slowly coming together. Just keep reading. It helps. Grace. This evening, I'm tired, but I can't sleep. I didn't notice the time, and it was past midnight. You'll wonder my eyes are getting dry. Erica is back in her room, and after we talked, I didn't step out. It was a lot of information to take. I thought I would be juggling work and the baby, but it looks like I will be busy getting to know the real me too. I haven't even told Erica about the Valentine. Maybe when we go back to Bronze Ridge, I will. I heard the front door opened, and I could smell Victor from here. I grabbed the robe and put it on, then opened the door. I need to talk to him. Vic. I called him. He was loosening his tie and about to come upstairs when he saw me. Grace, you're still awake. It would help if you were not staying up too late. It is not good for the baby. I know, but I could not sleep. Can we talk, or are you too tired? I'm good. Let's go to the study. None of us wanted to talk while walking. He seemed lost in his thoughts, too, like I am. Have a seat, he said to me. What did you want to talk about? The thing is, I don't know how to tell him. All I know is that Victor is a good person, and he is my friend. Today, when we dropped you off to High Crown, something happened to me. You're a wolf. I nodded. And a witch? He didn't look surprised. Earlier, I couldn't smell you as a witch, but now, I can. When did you first discover your power? While we were at the store looking at trinkets, Taryn tripped, and I raised my hand on instinct. Everything went frozen, except for Erica. She's my cousin, by the way. I just found out. I feel so nervous telling him that I ended up blabbing. Victor looked amused. You can freeze time. That's exciting. I frowned. You're not upset? I'm confused. I am not aware of wolves being friends with witches, so I thought he wouldn't want to be my friend anymore. It looks like I judged him too early. Why would I be upset? Because you're a witch. I nodded. You may be a witch, but you're also a wolf, and best of all, you are my friend. Your baby is my godchild. I have no room for hate. I felt relieved hearing him say that. Victor is one of a kind, and any woman would be lucky to have him. Thank you, Vic. You don't know how relieved I am that you're not mad at me. I was already thinking about resigning and leaving Bronze Ridge, just in case you don't want me around anymore. I laughed nervously. Victor smiled and gently tucked a few strands of my hair at the back of my ear. You will never lose me, Grace. I will be with you every step of the way. Our eyes met and locked in for a second before I turned away. I don't want him to think there's going to be more between us. Now that I know I am a part wolf, I plan to call Ulrich again and, this time, tell him about the baby. Maybe we can be a family. Thanks, Vic. See you in the morning. He nodded. Yes, see you in the morning. Have a good rest. I stood up and headed for the door when I noticed that he was not following me. Aren't you coming? I asked him. Was that sadness I see in his eyes? I think I will stay here for a while. You go ahead and get some rest. Okay, don't stay up too late. Not only did I gain a new family, but I also gained a true friend. Life is really full of surprises. Earlier 80 the party. There were so many guests at the party that it made me dizzy. It didn't help that Dad was trying to introduce me to all the females with ranks either. I have been thinking about Grace, and all I want to do is find her. But first, I need to talk to Vivian. So when Dad finally came to see me with her, I felt glad that I would have the opportunity to ask Vivian about Grace. Vivian, this is my son, Ulrich High Crown's Alpha. Son, this is Vivian, female beta for Bronze Ridge Pack. I'm sure you remember her brother, Victor. You've met him a few times. I do. Good evening, Vivian. I smiled at her. Good evening, Alpha. Vivian looked happy to have some time with me, which is a bonus. Meanwhile, Dad looked like he had won the lottery. If my guess is correct, he thinks I like Vivian because I looked more interested in speaking with her than the others, but that's only because I need to find out some information. I will leave you two alone. I'll go find your mother and see what she's been up to. When my dad left, I asked Vivian if she would like to get some fresh air with me. The music is a little loud, not to mention the endless chattering of guests. I won't be able to hear what she has to say if we talk here, and also, I could use a little bit of privacy. Sure, I would love to get some fresh air, said Vivian. We headed out towards the garden and stretched our legs. I haven't seen you in a while. I remember meeting you once. You came with your brother a couple of years ago. As much as I want to ask her directly about their new human employee, I don't want to blow this chance, so I need to be patient and basically suck up to her. Oh yes. I can't believe you still remember me. She blushed. Yeah, so tell me about you. What do you like to do? Things like that. Work, anything. I made sure I asked about her job, so I could start asking her about their company. There's a chance she works there with her brother. Then I can ask more about it. Well, I like to travel and shop. I work at Bronze Corp with my brother, but I am on vacation right now. I think it's great that you're involved in the family business. What sort of work are you in charge of for the company? Am I? She said, stammering. I have a feeling she doesn't really spend a lot of time working. Otherwise, she would have answered me by now. Just a few projects in the construction. Nothing big. My brother handles most of the stuff in the office. You know how serious he is when it comes to business. I nodded. Yes, I am aware of how good of a business person Alpha Victor is. Having 700 members in the pack is no joke. It's a lot of responsibility, and like everyone else, we need money to sustain the needs of the pack. Our business will give us that. I bet your brother is busy with such a big company. Like I am, rumor has it he hired a new employee to help sort out his schedules and documents. I really hope it's Grace. She looked quite off guard, and the stammering started again. Well, yes, she's doing okay with her job. Her? It's a woman. If it's Grace, I am worried that she might fall for another guy, especially one that she sees every day. Yes, my brother seemed to be good friends with her, and even offered her a room at the main house. I am not happy about that, but I can't do anything about it. I have this weird feeling Alpha Victor is into her. Shit. I don't know how to feel about that. I sort of want the new employee to be Grace and, at the same time, not. I feel jealous already that someone gets to spend time with her other than me. How so? She's human. She suddenly blurted out. Oh goddess, I am not supposed to tell anyone that. I'm so sorry. Could we keep it a secret between us? I am going to be in trouble with my brother, and I have too many offenses already. She frowned. Don't worry, your secret is safe with me. Thanks. She looked relieved. But you know, I haven't been to Bronze Ridge in a long time. The last time I was there, your parents were still alive. I think I was barely 15. I hope she invites me for a visit, because I won't say no to that. Any opportunity to check out the human employee is one step closer to finding Grace. Vivian beamed with happiness. Oh, I would love to give you a tour, Alpha Ulrich. The main house has been renovated as well as the offices and stores in the village. If you want, you can stay for a few days, so we can get to know each other better. That would be awesome, Vivian. Are you sure your brother won't mind? I am pretty sure he is okay with it. I can't wait to have you there. Me too. We should head back. Your brother is probably looking for you, and I have other guests to talk to as well. I had a great time talking to you. Thank you for taking a walk with me. The pleasure is mine, Alpha Ulrich. That was a success. This party was not as annoying as I thought it would be, thanks to Vivian and Brett as well. If he didn't hear the female beta talking to her friend, we wouldn't find out there's a human living at Bronze Ridge. Victor could have hired someone within the pack, and I am sure they are more than capable. That's what made me curious, and now I am about to find out if he has my Grace or not. Grace. We went back to Bronze Ridge after breakfast, and since I am now aware of what I truly am, I plan to ask Victor if I could take a couple of days to visit Shadowmoon Coven. His door to the office was slightly open, so I knocked. Do you have a minute? I asked him. He looked up and smiled at me. Sure, come on in. I am just reviewing a contract, but it can wait. What's up? I was wondering if I can take a couple of days off to see my family in Windsor. Windsor? You mean Shadowmoon? I nodded. That's fine, but can you stop by Dr. Hayes' clinic before you leave? Just to make sure the baby is okay, said Victor. Yes, I sent her a message and asked if she could squeeze me in later this afternoon. Erica and I plan to leave tonight. Okay, no worries. Thanks. I won't keep you. I still have to catch up with work before we leave. In the bedroom, I was putting a few clothes in a small traveling bag when I heard a knock on my bedroom door. It was Erica. Hey, what did he say? She asked. Erica went in and closed the door behind her. Vic gave me a couple of days off. Are you sure it's okay that I just show up there? Maybe you should ask Aunt Emlyn before we go. This is making me nervous as heck. Don't I need an invitation or something? Erica laughed a little. Invitation for you? You are the heir to Shadowmoon and a direct descendant of Grandma Mari. Don't be silly. I am sure Mom would be happy to see you. Okay, just make sure I don't kneel on mung beans. She burst out laughing. Erica told me that Aunt Emlyn punished Em and her because she sneaked out. She won't trust me, and Mom cares about you, so whatever worry you have, just forget about it. We are family. Okay, whatever you say. Anyway, I have to stop by Dr. Hayes' clinic this afternoon. Do you want to go with me? Okay, I'll go. What time is the appointment? 3 in the afternoon. You won't take a long time, right? I won't. Why? You have somewhere to be. I asked her. She scratched her neck. I have a job interview after 4. I laughed, then teased her. Are you sure you are going on an interview or date? Erica gave me a stern look. You're annoying. I laughed harder. That's what anyone says when they have nothing to say. Erica pouted like a little kid. How old are you again? I asked her. 25. I am a bit older than you. And Em is 26. Is she married? I asked her as I put the last piece of clothing I had. Nope, Em is. She's different. What do you mean? I sat on the chair near the window while she remained seated on the bed. I am not sure how powerful you are yet, but Em is pretty much loaded, to the point that no male which is a match for her. As soon as she speaks, men get scared. Maybe Em has not met her match. I said to her. I am pretty sure she has met every male in the realm, and the ones from the other kingdoms no success there. I furrowed my brows. Maybe her true love is from another species. Has she ever looked into that possibility? Erica shook her head. Mom won't allow that same species only, remember. I am still not in agreement with that same species rule. It just makes the world miserable, and I think people already have enough on their plate, as it is. She snorted. Tell that to Mom, and maybe it's not just mung beans we're going to kneel on. I just pictured myself kneeling on mung beans, and it hurts already. Damn. AT the clinic. Grace, the baby is doing well. Your blood pressure is normal. I don't see any concerns. You are fit to travel. Just don't tire yourself out. Thanks, Ida. Do you have any questions for me? I shook my head. Not at the moment. Okay, good. Before I forget, we can do an ultrasound when you return from your trip. We can find out the sex of your baby. I won't tell you if you prefer not to know. Some expectant mothers want it as a surprise. Is it already time? Wow, that was fast. By the way, you smell like peaches. I grinned at her. And you smell like tomatoes. I knew you were special, but I didn't expect you to be a hybrid. I am so happy for you, my friend. Ida genuinely smiled at me. You're okay with me being a part witch? I asked her. Are you kidding? I think it's great I get to have my first witch friend, and a hybrid at that. So what sort of powers do you have? I can freeze time. That's exciting. What else? Ida looked excited. Boy, I wish wolves had that gift too. It would be so cool. That's all I know at the moment, but Erica, my cousin, said that I probably have more, and it's just a matter of time before I unlock them. Just take your time and learn about the ways of being a witch and a wolf. Then, if you have any questions, I am here to help. Thank you, that means a lot to me. Anyway, I better go. Erica has a job interview at 4. I got up and straightened my clothes. All right. Take care and see you when you get back. I was almost at the door when she spoke again. Have you told Ulrich? It would be nice to have him with you when we do the ultrasound. It's one of those moments expectant parents don't want to miss. I will call him when I get back from my trip. I want to talk to Aunt Emlyn first, before I do anything. I have a feeling there is a reason why no one knew about me being a wolf and a witch until I went to Montreal. Grace. Erica wanted to drive, but I didn't want to waste time, as I only had 2 days off. The faster we get to Aunt Emlyn, the better. I am excited and nervous to meet her and Em. Mom never had anyone over when I was growing up, and it's just the two of us all the time. Are you ready to go? Asked Erica. Yes. We are currently in my bedroom at the main house. All right. Erica chanted and created a portal. She told me that once we go in, it would take us directly to Shadow Moon grounds. She was right. Because now I am standing in front of a huge house similar to a castle. It's beautiful. There are guards everywhere, and they are looking at me funny. Most of them looked confused. They are probably thinking about what a hybrid like me is doing here. Don't mind them, the guards won't attack you, Erica said while snorting. Welcome to Shadow Moon, Gracie, said Erica. She looked happy to bring me here finally. I guess this would have been home for me if Mom wasn't kidnapped when she was a baby. Erica, where have you? Then her gaze landed at me. Grace, is that you? A blonde-haired woman came out from the double doors and walked towards me. This must be Aunt Emlyn. She looked like an older version of Erica. Grace. I cleared my throat. You're Aunt Emlyn, I said to her. She nodded, and her eyes went misty while staring at me. When she lifted her hand and caressed my face, I let her. You looked just like your grandmother. She must be referring to Queen Amari. Oh, that might be one of the reasons why the guards were looking at me like that earlier. Anyway, I didn't know how to react to what Aunt Emlyn said, as I hadn't seen a picture of Queen Amari. I just gave her a small smile. I'm sorry to just barge in here without your permission. But Aunt Emlyn cut me off. Nonsense. You don't need permission to come home. Welcome to Shadow Moon, Grace. Can I get a hug? She gave me a warm smile, and I couldn't help but wrap my arms around her. Seeing her made me miss Mom. I felt her tap my back and plant a kiss on the top of my head. Just like what Mom used to do. I didn't expect Erica to be emotional as well. She tried to hide it, but I noticed. Mom, why don't we get inside? I am sure we have lots of things to talk about. I mean, you and Grace. Aunt Emlyn nodded. You're right, she said to her daughter before talking to me again. I am sure you have a lot of questions, Grace. I am going to try and answer them as much as I can. Do know that I am still trying to figure out some things, so be patient with me. It will be resolved soon. I promise. No worries, Aunt Emlyn. I am just glad to be here and meet my family. We started walking inside, and if the exterior is grand, the inside was twice that. Gold and silver are everywhere, and I don't think it's fake. Your cousin, Em, just stepped out, but she will be back shortly. Have you guys had dinner? Yes, we already ate, Mom, but I can eat some dessert. Did you make strawberry cheesecake? The heightened sense of smell from being a wolf is incredible. It does smell like strawberry cheesecake here in the foyer. Yes, I made one. Go ahead and eat some. I'm going to take Grace to my office, so we can talk. She turned to face me. Do you want some cake while we talk? Asked Aunt Emlyn. Yes, please. It smells yummy. She smiled. Very well, Erica. Take 3 slices of cake and bring it when you come to my office. Aunt Emlyn's office. The room is as beautiful as the rest of the house, truly fit for a queen. There are huge windows to give us natural light, and all the furniture here looks luxurious, top of the line, as they say. I remember growing up in a small apartment, somewhat smaller than this office, with all the furniture from the Salvation Army. Make yourself comfortable, she said to me. Thank you. I sat down on the couch, while Aunt Emlyn took the seat across from me. I noticed her looking at my baby bump. To ease the awkwardness, I told her about my baby. I'm pregnant. Yes, my daughter told me that when she arrived from New York. How are you feeling? I'm fine. I get tired easily these days, but it's not too bad. Aunt Emlyn went quiet, and I could only guess where that silence was coming from. 1. This is our first meeting. 2. I'm pregnant with a pup. She cleared her throat and said, I know about the father of your child, Grace. He tried to request a meeting with me. Unfortunately, my schedule is full. Erica told me that he looked for you in New York, but missed you by 1 day. I don't remember Erica telling me that, but I'm sure she plans to. Ulrich came back for me. He cares for me, after all. Oh, my heart. My apologies. I know Erica didn't mean to hide it from you. I was panicking, and that's probably what threw her off. I don't know Ulrich personally, as he hasn't really been an alpha that long, but I've heard good things. I just want to let you know that I was not happy he left you after that night, but I know where he's coming from. You are aware that our species belong to our own, right? I am aware, Aunt Emlyn. I mean no disrespect whatsoever, but we can't choose who we love. The heart wants what it wants, Grace. I don't want to make her mad, but I also don't want to agree with her if it doesn't make sense to me. I don't mean to offend you in any. She shook her head. No, you have a point. You actually sounded just like your mother earlier. Dawn said the same thing to me when we met and asked for a favor. You've met my mom. She nodded. What favor did she ask you?" Before she could reply, the door swung open, and Erica came in with a tray of cakes and drinks. Another redhead woman walked in with a fairly similar build. "Grace, have some cake. It's delicious. I already had a piece downstairs, but I'm eating another one here." She giggled. "All right, I'll have one, but I won't finish it. My sugar might go up, and it's not good for the baby." The redhead woman sat beside Aunt Emlyn and looked at me. "You must be Grace." "I'm Amelia." "It's nice to meet you, Amelia. I'd hug you, but I'm sweaty, so I'll save it for later." She smiled shyly at me. "No worries." I smiled back at her and started eating the cheesecake. "Are we late?" asked Erica. She sat beside me and took her plate. "Not really. I was just asking Aunt Emlyn about the favor my mom asked her. I have a feeling it's about me being a hybrid, but I could also be wrong. Maybe there's more to it." Aunt Emlyn let us eat and patiently waited until we were done. I drank some water, then put it back on the table, and that's when she started talking. "It happened more than 20 years ago, and Dawn just found out she's pregnant with you. I was in New York for a conference, and someone sent a couple of warlocks to kill me. The encounter was so bad, I almost died." "Were you alone?" I asked her. She shook her head. "I had guards with me, but they failed to protect me during the ambush. A lot of them died that night. I was left for dead, and if not for your mother, I wouldn't be sitting here in front of you telling this story." "Who was out to get you?" "Aunt Alondra. Your grandmother Amari has 2 younger twin sisters, Avery and Alondra." "Avery is my mother." I furrowed my brows. "Why would Alondra want you dead?" "Because when Aunt Amari died from a mysterious illness, Aunt Alondra thought she would be the next queen. She wanted more power and to take control of the realm, but Aunt Amari chose my mother, and the Council of Witches supported her decision. We didn't know how she felt at the time, but she showed her true colors later on. Anyway, that's a story for another day. I want to tell you more about your mother. I guess there's always family drama, whatever kind of family we all have, and witches are not an exception. I was severely hurt, and they left me in the alley to die. I was so weak that I couldn't even call for help until I heard footsteps. It was your mother. She had an apartment not too far from the alley. She had a trolley with her, and somehow, Dawn managed to put me there. She covered me with her raincoat and took me to her place. She cleaned my wounds and took care of me the whole time. I remember her telling me I was running a fever for 3 consecutive days, and she skipped work to look after me. I guess it wasn't my time to go yet, as I have an unfinished business. When the worst was over, she still let me stay in her house. I was still weak. One day, she went to work, and that's how I found out who she really was." "Wait, I am getting confused. If Mom was Grandma's baby, can't you tell she's a witch too?" I asked. "I can't tell. Your mother is human, and she had no powers at all. Dawn was in a hurry that day to get to work, and she left her drawer open. I did not mean to snoop, and I just wanted to help her clean up a bit. I was about to close the drawer when I saw a familiar necklace. It had a small pendant shaped like this symbol." She showed me a tattoo on her wrist, and I noticed it's the same thing Erica has. Amelia too. "This is called an cage. Only witches from Shadow Moon have this, and that pendant was made specifically for Aunt Amari. If you flip it, it has a small ruby at the back." I finished her sentence. "Yes, that's right. Do you still have it?" I nodded. "Good. I want you to wear it when you return to Bronze Ridge. It's for protection against warlocks and other attacks." I gave her a tight-lipped smile. "I'm glad I didn't throw it away. I thought it was fake when I was younger, because I knew we couldn't afford something like that then. I thought, if that was real, how come Mom never sold it in exchange for money?" Aunt Emlyn looked horrified. Sorry, I didn't know then, but now I will make sure that I wear it every day. Good, you are going to need it. It was the only reason why Valentine didn't kill Aunt Amari during the war. I felt my body stiffen. The Valentine. Did you just say, Valentine? Yes, it's not the holiday that humans made up. Thought Valentine is one of the oldest vampires there is. He's dangerous. Wait, why are you turning pale? I met him once. He attacked me in the alley. He's the guy who hurt you that night. Erika's eyes widened. I didn't tell her who it was, and her reaction right now is understandable. I nodded at her. Oh my goddess. Aunt Emlyn clutched her chest for a second. You're the one from the prophecy. Okay, now what prophecy is this? And why does Aunt Emlyn look very worried? Naya, the oldest seer in Shadow Moon, had a vision. A descendant of Aunt Amari would be the most powerful witch of her time. Not just a witch, but a hybrid. When Amelia was born or Dawn, we thought she was the one in the prophecy, but she wasn't, and when she was kidnapped and gone for a long time, we lost hope and thought she had died. Aunt Amari's line ended with her. So anyway, the seer said that Valentine has to turn the hybrid during some frosty half-blood moon eclipse, and there's one coming up this November. Let's just say I am the one from the prophecy, so then Valentine has to turn me, then get rid of me. Is that what's going to happen? Aunt Emlyn shook her head, but it was Em who answered. No, he's not going to get rid of you. You will become his wife. What does he get from all of this? His wife. Jeez. How did my boring life in New York turn into some fantasy movie in just a few weeks? All the powers you have, and the ability to walk under the sunlight,